Welcome back, everybody. I'm your host, Kelly Sparks. Hey, Red Dude. So, today we're going to do a blind comparison of Old Forester 1920 and Old Forester single barrel. Now, this single barrel is a goody pick, so all single barrel picks are going to be slightly different. This is just what I have to compare. I do have the option to go pick up one single barrel pick from a local mom and pop store. So, what I've done, so it's semi-blind, it's only like single blind, is I have my sample bottles here. I filled them up, put them in my pocket, rotated them several times, put them out here on the tabletop, shuffled them around so I have no idea which one's which. And I've got my two Glencairns. Glencairn? And I got some lemon water. I don't know if lemon water is the best. Bonnie, you get away from my lemon water. I don't know if the lemon water is the best palate cleanser, but that's what we're going to use today. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So we're going to have Glass A. Yeah, it's a pretty good little pour. But here, I got pollen all over my shit. And then we have Glass B. And I've got 1920 and I've got single barrel written on the bottom of the bottles, of the sample bottles. So I'll know which one's which once we're done. So, that one's that. Glass A. Class A. Oh man, speaking of Class A, you know, there's a tequila called Class A Azul. Man, went into my local liquor store the other day, the big one that we have here in town, and someone snagged a freaking $200 bottle of Class A Azul and Casa Dragones or something. Just grabbed the box off the shelf, walked them to the back, took the bottle out, made their way out of the store. Sorry, motherfucker. I can't stand a thief, man. Unless you're like stealing to provide for your family, and there's no other way to get it. I can't get behind it. Oh yeah, just. Bonnie, what are you eating? Oh, she's eating grass. You eat grass, that's fine. So this one's just like brown sugar, heavy brown sugar. A little bit of toffee. Now, the big difference between these two is obviously one's a blended version and the other one's a single barrel. But the proof point, you got 115 on the 1920 and you got 129.1 on the single barrel. So you've got almost 7.5%. Yes, roughly 7% extra alcohol in it. Almost, a little over 7%. Don't you look at me like that. Alright, let's see how it tastes. It smells delicious. That one, so to me, and I have had a little bit of both. Not today, it's been a week or so. That one has really nice flavors. Maybe like some like sweet pastries. Like a Werther's original, but there's barely any heat on it. I get a little bit of tingling on the lips, but almost no fucking heat. No fucking heat. So I really have no idea now. Because I know I've gotten heat off, well, I'll link my first Old Forester single barrel review, which I'm not going to mention any names, but somebody ripped me off completely. Another channel. Almost verbatim, my description of the Old Forester single barrel. Just literally almost word for word ripped me off. Now, can't say he actually did it or if great minds think alike, but I don't know. I posted the video first and he said almost exactly the same words I said in my descriptors. It was hot. So hot. Alright. Lemon juice or lemon water. Probably should have just drank the lemon water before I did a little bit. Alright. Hopefully it won't affect the taste. I don't think it should. Why don't you stay away from my lemon water? Keep your poop mouth away from my cup, my straw. So if I had to go on nose alone, I would say Glass A has a better first initial presence. This one is a little more muted. So, and I have no idea. This is going to be it's going to be a surprise for me. I'm going to be surprised if the 1920 performs better in this setting than the single barrel. But yeah, this one's a little more muted on the nose. Still has some faint characteristics, some of the same characteristics as Glass A. But nowhere near as bold. Alright, let's see how it tastes. Try to let all the lemon flavor get out. Much more hotter. A lot more hotter. Very spicy around the tongue. And that's really kind of where it stops. Like, the heat doesn't transfer down into your esophagus. Is that the right one? What's your, yeah, your trachea. It's kind of like the same tube, but your esophagus leads to your stomach. And I think your trachea leads to your lungs. It's a weird design, God. I don't know why you would put it that way. Anyway. More spice, more heat on the mouth. Pretty mild going down. Finish, okay. Still hot in the mouth. That's all. Still hot in the mouth. So as far as enjoyability while drinking it, I would have to go with the first glass. Flavors, they're pretty freaking close. Let me take, I'm gonna do lemon water again. Then we're gonna go right into it. We're not gonna wait till the lemon dissipates. Bonnie? Fuck off. I'd say just, okay, so I haven't had my second sip of Glass B. But I'd say just off the first, get out of here, mosquito. The first 3 sips, 2 for Glass A and 1 for Glass B. I would say Glass A overall has the best nose, mouthfeel, and flavor profile over Glass B. Now they're really freaking close, but I'm like, everything's in its very minute range and the details are just a little off. So Glass A had a really nice mouthfeel, hardly any heat and spice and burn. Glass B had a lot of heat, had a lot of burn in the mouth. Both of them went down very easy, very clean. Alright. This one has more of a dusky, like, very, very funky, dusty nose to it compared to the other one. Alright. Predator! So Glass B has more of that funky nutty note that I think some of the Old Foresters have. Plus the heat. They're both really good. I am not upset that I own both of these bottles, but they are both different in very minute ways. I say minute. I mean, it's a noticeable difference to me. The average person might not notice it. The average whiskey drinker, definitely the average bar goer, they're not going to fucking notice it at all. They're going to think both of them are hot. But your whiskey snob or whatever, your whiskey fi, whatever you want to call them, anybody who does this for the enjoyment of tasting new whiskey is going to notice the difference. So with that said, I would have to go with Glass A just right now in this experience. I'm doing all this on an empty stomach for the most part. It's been quite a few hours since I had anything to eat. And we got the lemon water. So I'm thinking Glass A is going to have it. So, hey, fuck it, let's figure it out. And in this blind review, not really a blind, it's a blind tasting, but I mean, there's really no loser here. It's just a comparison. In this blind comparison of old high proof Old Forester products, Old Forester 1920 is the winner. Would be my choice. Get on me, mosquito. So, I mean, and that stands to reason. They create a certain flavor profile for Old Forester 1920. There's this one. To, how do I say it? Like, you have your main releases, right? If you're a distillery, if you're a master distiller or a blender who works for the distillery, and your job, hush money, is to create it's not feeding time yet. You go eat some shit. You like that stuff. So if you're a blender or whoever in the process at a distillery, and your job is to create a certain flavor profile that's really freaking good at 115 proof, and you blend certain barrels together, you already pretty much got it down. There's like all of the science and hard work has pretty much been done. So it's like you're taking barrels, you know that fucking these barrels from this warehouse blended with these barrels from this warehouse, you're going to get a certain flavor profile for the most part. You're not out there every single month. Oh God, we need that. No, we need that barrel up there on the fucking top of the rick house. Like, no, you're not doing that. Everything's pretty much set in stone for the flavor profile. Now, the problems you run into with single barrels is the people who are picking the single barrel might not be as experienced. You hush. We're talking to people. The people who are picking the single barrels for whoever's doing the lottery or whoever's doing the pick for the company that's buying the barrel might not have the experience as someone like me, other members of the community who do this for fun or even for profit, They might just, they probably just got like a random group of people sitting around, and then the distillery sends them 5 different samples. They're like, oh, this one tastes good. Well, it tastes good right then and there at that moment. But if you don't dump the barrel that day or a couple days later, and you wait till the next season rolls around, you're gonna get a completely different fucking product. That's just the way it is. So, and it's happened before from people I know personally who've done barrel picks with other companies and whatnot. I got one right there off camera that I need to do a review of that is about 2/3 of the way, is a third of the way gone. You do a tasting, right? You try to find a nice barrel, a honey barrel, so to speak, and you taste these samples. Well, if you don't dump the barrel within, I mean, if you're in the summertime, if you don't dump the barrel by the time it gets cold or before it gets cold, whiskey's going to change on you. It's just what it does. So, anyway, sometimes the regular release is a better product than the single barrel. And it is today. So, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Sorry it's so long. I'm long-winded. Check the description below for all the ways to help out with the bills around the house. Like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, hit the bell for notifications. This is how I used to talk earlier in the channel. Like I was trying to sound like somebody else. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Or Shawn Michaels. The Heartbreak Kid. Yeah, I used to talk like that a lot. Somebody's like, why did your voice change, bro? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, all that stuff. Check out the Bearded Idiots. And like always, drink some whiskey. Share it with your friends and family. Be safe. Don't drink and drive. Stay away from lemon water. Take care. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.